Hello everyone, Voices here, and today I will be discussing the patch rundown for 10.24. It is a big patch and it is a meta changer for sure. There is a lot to cover, which is why I wanted to do this video because there's a lot of changes that some people don't understand if it's a buff or nerfed. I will explain it. There are some few system changes here and there. But I will try to explain and make everything clear for you and have some predictions on what can be strong for tomorrow as the patch goes live tomorrow. If you enjoyed this kind of video, please like and subscribe. But here it goes. So, the first thing that we have to talk about are the odds changes, because this is what I think is the biggest change on this patch. And this single change is gonna eliminate the 4-1 lottery just completely. Let me explain one for a second. So, these are just the normal rolls that you can get per level. They change some percentages, so at level 5 you're most likely to find some 2 stars, which is fine. At level 6 though, instead of having 10% at the forecast, you only have 5. At level 5 you only have 2% chance. So it looks like basically the level 4 and 5 are not gonna be so different that much. The game plan now will be in the early game to get, I guess, a 2-cost chosen that you can keep until level 8, potentially. Maybe if you roll a 3-cost chosen at level 7, that can be good too. But I'm not sure yet about that. But yeah, the chances of getting 4 costs so early to have a potential Jhin or Riven or whatever carry you can play changed a lot. You can see some rolling at 6 just to have a chosen that can get you to level 8, because the goal of this patch, you will see, is to basically go 8 and then find your 4-cost chosen then instead of 7. You will see why later. But you need to get there. They changed the player damage as well. We'll see that. So the early game and the mid game will matter much more than the previous patch. So those are good changes. I really like it. Let's go see for the chosen odds now. So the one that matters the most is this one right here, where it's only 5% at level 7 for a 4-cost. So basically, rolling 50 good, you're not even guaranteed to hit one or a good one at all. However, at level 8, it's at 40%, which is, it's kind of nuts. So the plan would be, maybe it's going to be a fast 8 meta, I don't know. This is one of my prediction at least, that people will go fast 8 if you have a great econ, maybe at 4-3, if not at 5-1, to roll all the way down and find a focus chosen then. I need to also talk about the early game, because at level 4, if you didn't have a chosen by 2-2, you would level to 4 to have a better chance to get a 2 cost, because it was at 60%, now it's at 40. So, if you're lucky, good, but don't expect it too much. If you want a 2-cost chosen, it's better to go to 5. Much, much better. Another change that's happening is at level 6. You have 40 instead of 45% to get a 3-cost chosen. So it's slightly decreased just because people would just have that chosen just for level 6 and then sell it at level 7. Now it's just better to get a 2-cost and then go to level 7, maybe get a 3-cost, and then go to level 8 and get a 4-cost. Depending on which comp you're playing. What matters here is that you should be focusing on having a 2-cost chosen in the early game. At level 5 would be better. You can keep it until level 6, potentially until level 7 if you're strong enough. Then econ all the way up, and then roll at level 8 to get the 4-cost that you need. That's the strategy. Also because of the player damage that here it is. You're taking a lot more damage at stage 3 and 4, which is level 5, 6, 7. You need a good early game, because otherwise you're gonna bleed, and you're gonna bleed a lot. Which is why I recommend having a 2-cost chosen. Just to make sure if you do lose, you don't lose by that much. Okay? And also they decreased it at stage 6, which is usually when people can go 8 if they rerolled, or 9 if they are healthy. So the pace of the game should be a little faster, just because you're gonna bleed earlier into the game. So now the spike is going to be a stage 5 one, where people are just gonna go all level 8 if you don't fast 8. So good early game will be really important. Which is why people might think, okay, well, what about all those reroll comps where you have Diana or Yasuo duelist, or all those 1-cost carry, Nami as well, where you're going to see they are getting nerfed, because otherwise just the people that go for those comps are just gonna be super healthy until level 7, they can go fast 8 or even fast 9, and then they just win the game. So I will cover that too. This doesn't really matter. This basically says that there is no more 2 gold start. Instead it will be a 3 gold start, which is fine. Then you're just gonna have this just basically means you cannot get multiple same components of items. For example, you cannot get 4 bats, 4 cloaks anymore, as Moldog said. And now it's 3 that you can get max of the same item. And they are just lowering the amount of Nikos in the grey orbs. So that's fine. Now this is another big change. All the AD chosen are all getting nerfed, and you might think that 10 is actually not that big of a nerf, but it actually is. For all those chosen that are getting 80, you see, of course, Ashe and Talon being there, so they are both getting nerfed, which is fine. Yasuo as well. So it's a big nerf for all those chosens. However, Talon is getting reworked, and most of them are also getting a buff, just because the losing 10 AD is making them quite underwhelming. So let's go over the balance traits first. It's not that much. Basically, if you get the chosen Costis, instead of counting twice, you will just count back to once. Which is fun, just because Costis was the best early game that you can get anyway. So now will be a little less strong. You have to actually level your Costis units to be able to make a difference. To have a bigger Galio, basically. It's still going to be super strong. Fortune, well, it's just the case of the 11 drop. There was a bug. Now you can get your full items. And now, yeah, if nerf to 6 fortune, I guess, where you can get less Nikos. Yeah. Now balances, and this is what I was talking about. Diana 4, which is, Diana carry is really, really good. It's getting nerfed, but just the shield, okay? She will still hurt like a truck. It's just the shield, okay? Lissandra will hurt less. Lissandra 4 only. So if you go Lissandra carry, she's losing 100 spell damage, which is quite significant. Nami, now she has 100 mana, so she will take longer to cast, even with the double Ludens. So this is clearly a big nerf to the comp. I don't know how good it will be, but we will have to see. Yes, they are buffing Yasuo because of the loss of the 1080. So Duelist Yasuo is going to be even better early game. If you look, the 3-star is the same, but once you get him that early in the early game, even without the chosen, it would be better. So something to be careful. For the 2 cost, Alpheus is getting 5 AD and lower the mana, so he will have his turrets attack a little earlier. It was actually fine in last patch. It was just a good order for like Ash items. Well, now it will be even better. So in the mid game, until you find an Ash, Alpheus can be a great carry. So something to watch out for. Jarvan, so the stun is lasting less, but you will cast more. So maybe a blue buff Jarvan will be a thing if you go into the Warlords. So you can stun multiple times. We'll have to see, but I really like this change. Pike, which was almost the best 2-cost Chosen in the game and doing a lot of damage, is getting nerfed, which is totally fair. I really like this change. Now this is scary to me because Zed is already an underrated comp, and I will make actually a guide on the comp tomorrow. It will be released tomorrow. But this comp is already really strong, and you're buffing his attack speed, which is basically, that's how Zed works in this set. It works with attack speed. You build RSC Renance and we just steal AD everywhere, and you just win the fight that way. So I don't know like how OP this is going to be, but it was already almost a top 4 guaranteed, and with this, yeah, I'm a little scared. Let's see how it goes. Lulu, the stun is 0.5 seconds less, but the buff that she gets to the ally is for the rest of the combat. So now she's an actual unit, basically is what it is. I really like this change. It's not OP, it's not underwhelming. She should be in a good place right now. 4 cost. Well, Akali is just getting buffed just because since the mana lock, she was not played as a carry like ever. I don't think this is gonna still do it. Even if you have blue buff, RFC, and IE, I don't think that's going to be enough damage. We have to see. But since she will cast still less, yeah, I'm not really confident about that. Xin is getting less mana just because he got his 10 AD off, so now he will cast more. Maybe we have to see if maybe having a super tank Xin with a blue buff can be a good thing. Maybe Bramble, Dragonclaw blue buff, or Arch, or something with mana that can help him. Can be a thing in the Warlord comps. Again, that's to be tried. But I look forward to see some 800 armor, 800 MR Xin much more frequently this patch. Jinx. So Jinx is a rework. So she's losing 70 mana, which is huge. Like, she would cast maybe once, sometimes twice, but that's it. And that's if you have Shojin, Nudens, and another mana item. Yeah, she will just cast like at most twice, I think, in a fight. The stun is longer, which is, it's fine. It's 0.5 seconds at level 2. If you're playing Sharpshooter, then yeah, I would recommend freestarring her. But having the 0.5s at 2-star is pretty good. The damage is decreased like insanely, like 50 at level 1. Which is huge. 75 at level 2 and 100 at 3-star. Yeah, she won't do damage basically. However, now every unit that are in 1x of the targets of the sharpshooters is also gonna get stunned. So if you position properly, she can stun an entire team with 6 sharpshooters, which is pretty damn good. And if you do get a chosen sharpshooter Jinx, instead of having more AP, she would just have less mana, so she would cast faster. So I can see a sharpshooter comp with only sharpshooter jinx, basically. That would be the only way. Because with the mana, yeah, not that good. Forecast, more mana for Cassiopeia because she was just casting way too much. Now the goal of the Cassiopeia will be to just cast once and the job is done. Yeah, she will have to attack a lot more to be able to ult. However, when she will ult, she will do 10% more damage, which is nice. So you might have to basically move her a little back from just front landing her. And she should ult, she'll be fine. Just need to be careful with the positioning. Jhin, another one that's getting chosen AD Redus. His non-chosen part is getting 1580. And this is why I think sharpshooters are going to be good, because if Jinx can stun at least once the entire team or close to the entire team, with this Jhin, if you get him an IE, Death Blade or something like that, the 4-shot is going to kill everything. Yeah, there is no way around it, right? And also now the Jinx you're going to see can target the Talon, which is really, really nice. So I can see Sharpshooter being really good next patch. Of course, we'll have to see. But this 1590 like matters more than you think. And also this is a non-chosen run. So remember. Talon is getting a rework. So it's a little... So his mana is lowered. His damage is lowered by a lot, as you can see, across all stages, even Talon 3. However, now the spell no longer refunds mana on kill, so you won't see him jumping from one kill to another as you've seen in patch 10.23. Now we will actually need to gain mana to attack, auto-attack, and then jump again. Also is no more invulnerable, meaning if there is an ARI ult on a Talon leap, it will take the damage. If there is a Jinx within a shot, he will also take the damage, which is huge because now he will take damage during the leap and before he couldn't. So an enter proc or anything like that will work, and that is the reason why I think Talon is pretty much dead. Just because even if he's untargetable and unstoppable, he will take the damage from any AoE, any proc. So he will die much sooner. That is also debated, need to see it, but the fact that we take any AoE damage now during the leap and that he cannot jump from one target to another anymore, yeah, this is a pretty big nerf. I feel like it's an over nerf. I really think that you guys should not play Talon anymore. Yeah, he hurts less, he can be targeted, he can be stunned. Yeah, I don't feel confident about this one. Warwick, he gains a little more AD, less attack speed, which is fun. This works great in the Divine comp because he needs to hurt more to be the actual carry, so that's fine. Now he will actually share, if he shares a trait with somebody else, both can gain attack speed and like a lot of attack speed. For example, Ashe. Ashe can now gain another 75% attack speed every time a Warwick gets or help to get a kill. Which is kind of nuts because you don't need, I think, Rage Blade anymore on your Ashe just because she would get that much attack speed, right? So if you go maybe Death Blade or IE that's with Spirit QSS on your Ashe, that's enough. She will have enough attack speed with the Warwick to kill everything. So I really like this change. It also buffs the 6 Divine comp that's going around. It was 8 here, I still think it is, but it's better. It gets a buff. So again, we'll have to see. The 5 cost, so Azir is getting more mana, which is fun. He's still going to be a great unit, just because of the AoE stun. Really, really good. Still playable. Lee Sin, The stun is a little longer for the first one, but a little less for the second one. It's still, it's still going to be the listen. We know if he can keep people out of the map, it's still going to be insane. So, yeah. Overall, this is like a mix of buff and nerf. It's still going to be good. Like, don't worry about it. Yoni is getting a rework. So he gets a lot less mana. His shredding armor and amor is a lot more, like, scary more. So if you play against Vanguard Mystics and you don't know what to play, Yoni is the play. Okay, 50 mana, I mean, like, with blue buff, you will almost cast instantly. Almost. You will need, I think, one other attack. But yeah, this is kind of nuts. However, because he's getting all this buff, he's no longer knocking up enemies, which is totally fine. No more big AoE CC. I'm fine with that. He becomes anti-guardable, though, during his spell cast, so that's pretty good. So once he's casting and about to kill, yeah, he cannot be stopped. He will still take damage like Talon, but he cannot get CC'd. So when he's about to execute someone, he will execute it. Fix a bug, well, that's fine, it's just a bug. And Set is getting buffed by 30 mana, which is surprising because he was already really, really good, and it's getting better. So it might not be still the best 5 cost in the game, but he will ult probably now before doing some push-ups. Not guaranteed, but this is kind of scary to me. So Set is going to be a really, really good 5 cost in this patch. Items, there's just a Z0 that has 50 less AD, just because it was super OP in the early game. If you build a Z0, you could win streak just with the Z0. It's fixed, you should have less AD, you should just win the fight then. And that is it for the rundown from me. Let me know if you have any questions or any comments down below or on my Discord. This patch is going to be great, probably the best patch of this set. All great changes. The meta is going to shift dramatically, I think, which is fantastic. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.